Beef and mushrooms, look at that. Hi guys, how you all doing? Welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we are going to make a simple Chinese beef and mushrooms. Easy dish, let's show you how to do it, come on. Okay, so this is actually rump. So this is really a really nasty piece of meat, if you like. So we're just going to get rid of the fatty gristly rubbish that we can't eat. So take that off there. And then what we're going to do, there's grain all over this, you know. It's not a nice grain in any way whatsoever. It's a crap piece of meat. So just pick the best way you can do. The grain seems to run that way, then change that way. So all we're going to do is we're going to slice our beef nice and thinly, if we can. So we're going to get slices like this, and all we're going to do is put it in a bowl. So nice and steady across there. And put in our bowl. Now we don't want all this gristly end, we can't eat that, we don't want it. So just trim round, slice away, get some nice slices of beef. Okay, that's our beef in a bowl. As easy as that. So what we want to be doing, we want to be adding about a teaspoon of baking soda. Now I always add a little pinch of pepper. You don't have to do, that is optional. Then what we want is about a quarter cup of water. And I always put in about a tablespoon of soy sauce. And then all we're going to do is get our hands in there and give that a mixing up. Just mix that up. Now what's going to happen is the beef is going to be tenderized. It's going to take on a little bit of that saltiness from that soy sauce, so that's going to give it a really nice flavor in there, and it will also take on some of the water, so it will be nice and soft. And then the pepper is just a finishing little bit of spice over the top. And as you can see, marinating that in there, the water has been absorbed, and then all we need to do is let this beef rest for about 15 minutes. That's all. So we're going to let the beef rest for 15 minutes, give it a rinse off, and then we'll prep our marinade. So that's it, just leave it for 15 minutes. So there we are, look, beautiful meat, marinated. All that moisture we put in there has been absorbed into that meat. That meat is going to be so tender. All we need to do now is give that a rinse off and get that baking soda off that meat. So that's our meat rinsed, nice and steady. All we need to do now is marinate that meat. What we're going to do is we're going to put in a tablespoon of Shoaxing wine, about a tablespoon of soy sauce, about a teaspoon of dark soy sauce, about a quarter teaspoon of sesame oil, Now put in a pinch of pepper, white pepper. Now you can use black pepper obviously if you don't have white pepper. And then all we need to do is give this a mix up. Now what you can do, you can actually put in an egg or an egg white if you want to sort of keep it silky smooth and tenderize it a bit more. And you can also add a tablespoon of corn flour to this if you want it all to stay really moist whilst you're cooking, stir frying. And you know, the corn flour will help put a crust on the outside. Now I don't need it for the recipe that I'm doing, so we're not going to put corn flour on. We're just going to leave that little bit of a marinade on there for about 20 minutes, and then we can crack on with our dish. So that's it. That's our marinade, and what you do, you leave that for about 20 minutes, and that's our beef tenderizer marinade ready for cooking. Okay then, for our beef and mushrooms, onion. Now we're going to slice this onion down long ways. So we're going to have some of these slices in our dish. So just put that in a bowl. Onions. Mushrooms, just give them a wipe over if they're small, or if they're a little bit too big, just slice through so you get some halves or quarters depending on what you want to use. So nice and steady. Nice and steady. If they're small, just chuck them in. But if they're big, half them and chuck them in. Okay then, so we just want a little bit of oil in there, and we're going to go in with our beef. So all we're going to do with this, we're just going to put a little bit of a sear on this beef. And then we're going to take it out and put it to one side. Now you don't have to cook it too much because we don't want the beef to be dried out in the middle. Very quick, over the top, stir fry. And then it comes out. All we need to do is take that out of there and put in a bowl. Okay, in the pan, a little bit of oil, in with some onions, in with a little bit of garlic, and then in with your mushrooms. Now the important thing about cooking this mushroom dish is we want to cook the mushrooms so we got a little bit of colour on, but we do not want to cook them so they go soggy. In with some beef, in with some wine, a couple of tablespoons of oyster sauce. Give it a move round. In with a little bit of water. About a tablespoon of soy sauce. A touch of dark soy sauce. a little splashing of sesame oil, a little pinch of pepper. In with a little bit of corn flour and water. Get that in there. Give that a little thickening up. There we go, beef and mushrooms done. All we got to do now is serve it up. Oh, there we are. Beef and mushrooms. Look at that. Oh, amazing. Really, really soft, tender beef. That beef is ridiculously tender. Perfect. Nice crunch to the mushrooms and the onions. That is beef. That is beef and mushrooms made. Now normally serve over rice, but we're just eating this for film. Now, if you like what we're doing, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. Catch you in the next video.